Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hadi Madhava Kunjabi Hadi Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jasodhanandana Brajajanandana Jasodhanandana Brajajanandana Jamunatira Vanashyadi Jamunatira Vanashyadi Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hadi Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hadi Jayom Vishnupad Paramahansa Parividakacharya Astatara Satusi Srimad. His Divine Grace is the Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Gaur Premanandi. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading 4 verses this morning, starting Canto 10, Chapter 76, verse number 17. Taischa Saubha Pater Maya Divyastrai Rukmini Sutta Kshanena Nashayam Asa Naishyam Tama Evoshna Go Tascha Saubha Pater Maya Divyastrai Rukmini Sutaha Kshanena Nashayam Asa Naisham Tama Evoshna Go Tascha Saubha Pater Maya Kshanena Nashayam Asa Naisham Tama Evoshna Go Tasha Saubha Pater Maya Yasnai Vinisataha Shanena Nashayam Asa Naisham Tama Evoshna Go Tasta Saubha Pater Maya Divyastrai Rukmini Suttaha Janena Nashayam Asa Naisham Tama Evoshna Go Tasya Salbha Patir Maya Divyastrai Rukmini Suttaha Janena Nashayam Asa Naisham Tama Evoshnago Tasta Saubha Patir Maya Divyastrai Rukmini Sutaha Janena Nashayam Asa Naisham Tama Evoshnago Tasya Saubha Patir Maya Divyastrai Rukmini Sutaha Janena Nashayam Asa Taha those Cha and Saubha Pate of the master of Shobha Maya the magic illusions Divya divine Astrai with weapons Rukmini Suttaha the son of Rukmini Shanena in an instant Nashayam Asa destroyed Naisham of the night Tamaha the darkness Eva as Ushna warm Guhu whose rays the sun. Translation with his divine weapons Pradyumna instantly destroyed all of Shalva's magic illusions in the same way that the warm rays of the sun dissipate the darkness of the night. Text 18 translation. Lord Pradyumna's arrows all had gold shafts, iron heads, and perfectly smooth joints. With 25 of them, he struck down Shalva's commander-in-chief, Duman, and with 100 he struck Shalva himself. He then pierced Shalva's officers with 1 arrow each, and his chariot drivers with 10 arrows each, and his horses and other carriers with 3 arrows each. And the final verse for this morning, text 20. When they saw the glorious Pradyumna perform that amazing and mighty feat, all the soldiers on both sides praised him. So that's it, no purports. And so I'm going to go to the commentaries of our acharyas and see what our acharyas have to say. And then we're going to go to hear something further about Pradyumna from chapter 56 of Canto 10. So we'll start with Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. And in his commentary from verse 17, he speaks of the Ushna Gu. Ushna means heat, just like the Sitoshna Sukha Dukkha Da. Sitoshna Sukha Dukkha Da. There's in Bhagavad Gita, the dualities of material world. There's heat and cold. So Ushna means heat. Ushna Gu means the heat of the sun. Of course, it's the rays of the sun that destroys darkness. But just as the sun, Ushna Gu, destroys darkness, Pradyumna destroyed the magical illusions of Shalva. In the verse, it says that Divya Astra, Pradyumna had divine weapons, and Shalva had mystical weapons. Difference. And Pradyumna's power, we heard yesterday, we'll hear again. In addition to his Divya Astras, specifically from chapter 56, Rati, who was the wife of Cupid, gave Pradyumna a mantra or mantras that invoked Maya Shakti. So he had, of course, he doesn't need because he's the personality of Godhead, but in Leela, he got mantras from Rati. We'll hear more about that. So he has transcendental means of combating Shalva. And yeah, that's it for Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and his commentary. Here's what Jiva Goswami writes in his commentary. Oops. Yes. His commentary, Jiva Goswami's commentary to the verse 17, Pradyumna being being several things, being the first son of Rukmini and being a direct expansion of the Bhagavan feature of Bhagavan Krishna, Pradyumna Vasudeva, Pradyumna Aniruddha and Sankarshan being direct expansions of Vasudeva Krishna. So he had very special powers. I mean, it was a fool's errand for Shalva to attack Dwarka to begin with, but he's in his get-back mood, so he's doing what he's doing. Seemingly an invincible Saubha, this airship and mystical powers, but he's a demon, and so he miscalculated. Jiva Goswami goes on to indicate because of his prowess and because of the weapons, that is, arrows that have golden shafts and heads made of iron, he was able to pierce the bodies of the enemies. Now, enemies because they were attacking. They were attacking Dwarka, but he came out of the fort of Dwarka to defend Dwarka city and the residents, the denizens in Dwarka. And so he's the object of Shalva's fighting. And because his arrows were very powerful, although these are mystical personalities, he's able to defeat them and pierce them. Yeah. he then comments that everyone's seeing these so many arrows being shot simultaneously. Who can do that? Everyone was amazed. Both sides were amazed. They praised him for his prowess. And then Jiva Goswami's comment is no problem because he has unlimited Shakti. It's right in the verse, Mahatmana. He has unlimited power. So what's the limit of the unlimited? There's no limit to the unlimited. So it's not a big surprise. But they, from both sides, were thinking he's limited. And certainly on Shalva's side, will defeat him. But he's showing that the residents, he's certainly capable of protecting them and the citizens of Dwarka because he has unlimited power. So I want to go back a little bit and go to this nice discussion about who is Pradumna. There's chapter 55. This is chapter 76. Chapter 55 of Canto 10 introduces the history of Pradumna. So I want to revisit that because the battle scene is undergoing. It's not over yet. In principle, Vishnu Tattva, not Jiva Tattva. He is a direct angsa or expansion of Krishna. And angsa means part. So Krishna is the origin, and from the origin comes expansions. And there's svangsa, sva, angsa means his own angsas, his own expansions. Pradumna is one. Pradumna is the second because the first is Sankarshan, and then Pradumna, and then Aniruddha, because Aniruddha is the son of Pradumna. Pradumna, is well known as an incredible fighter, and his well-knowingness has something to do with his being Bhagavan, but it also, in Leela, it has something to do with how he became invested with power to defeat the person who kidnapped him. The person who kidnapped him, according to the Prabhupada's purports, that even before he was 10 days old, in the maternity room, Shambhara kidnapped him. Because Shambhara, according to commentary, Shambhara received news, according to commentary, from a foreteller of the future, like Narada, or someone else. It doesn't, and better watch your backside. And so, taking the word of Narada or whoever the foreteller of the future was, he was looking and looking and looking. Where is this newborn who is the one who's going to kill me? By inductive reasoning, he deduced that Pradumna was that one who was going to kill him. So before it's like a little bit like Kamsa, before he grows up and I have to do battle with him, let me kill him when he's an infant. That was the thinking. So Shambhara deduced wrongly that this child is the one that was foretold. Actually, not wrongly. He did kill him. So he kidnapped him, and he took according to commentary, it wasn't before 10 years, it was specifically 10 days. It was 6 days. I'm just reviewing the history that our acharyas have given us, who was Pradyumna, his history. So he was thrown into the sea, and a fisherman caught the big fish. It was a big fish that had swallowed this child, Pradyumna. And when the fisherman caught him, he somehow ended up selling the fish or giving the fish or whatever to Shambhara. So Shambhara gave the fish to his cook to cook for him. And the cook was named Mayavati. We heard this yesterday, but there's more detail. So who is Mayavati? Mayavati was previously, during her life, she was the wife of Cupid. Now, who is Cupid? According to Bhagavad Gita, Cupid is one of Krishna's opulences. And then the detail from chapter 10, Bhagavad Gita. And specifically, Cupid, a jiva, had a consort, and his consort was Rati. And there was an issue where Cupid was trying to attract the attention of Lord Shiva, and he fired arrows at Lord Shiva to agitate Lord Shiva, with Cupid's arrows. Lord Shiva became angry, and with his anger, Lord Shiva burnt the body of Cupid, leaving his wife or his consort, Rati, without a husband. So Rati, waiting for her husband to be born again, took the position of the cook for Shambhara, and became known by a different name, Mayavati. So Mayavati is Cupid's wife from a previous life of Cupid. And Cupid was given a special privilege. The special privilege was, it's a little detailed and subtle, but a jiva that had his body incinerated by Lord Shiva would be, according to Acharya's commentary, would be forever disembodied, like a ghost forever. And so instead of a ghost forever, the privilege was arranged that this jiva, an expansion of the jiva, because jivas can expand when there's a will of the Supreme Lord, demigods and Cupid can expand, and he expanded as an angsa of that soul of Cupid into the body of Pradyumna. So Pradyumna is Bhagavan, this is commentary, and in addition, Cupid had taken shelter as the first son of Rukmini and Krishna. So Pradyumna was born, and Pradyumna was kidnapped after his 6th day, and so forth and so on, and so forth and so on. And the child, Pradyumna, as the child, was placed in the ocean, came out of the body of the fish. So Mayavati found the child when she opened the fish to prepare the fish for cooking. So she started acting like the mother of the child that was found in the fish, still alive, Pradyumna. And after some time, she, Mayavati, was visited by Narada Muni. And Narada Muni did the Narada Muni. Guess what? What? This child is your former husband, or an expansion of your former husband. Cupid is now within the body of this child. And so she, Mayavati, accepted the words of Narada and concluded, not just I'm like the mother of this little child that was in the body of a fish, but this is my husband. And so her mood changed from mother to lover. And she started, because her mood changed, her facial and verbal interactions with Pradyumna changed. It's described that because Pradyumna was Bhagavan, he matured very quickly. He became like a youth earlier than most children. So she's coming on. And Pradyumna said, my dear mother, this behavior isn't becoming. You're my mother. And she said, let me tell you a little secret. This is what I understood from Narada Muni. She disclosed the secret. And then she, Mayavati, disclosed, I'm not really Mayavati, I'm your wife. And what you should do is kill Shambhara, because he's to be killed. And she gave him mantras so that he, Pradyumna, could destroy Shambhara. And so what did Pradyumna do? Pradyumna went to Shambhara, the person who had killed him, no, kidnapped him in his previous life, or in his previous life as Cupid, and spoke harshly and challenged him to battle. And so there was a battle, and Shambhara did what Shambhara did, and Pradyumna did what Pradyumna did, and Pradyumna chopped his head off. End of Shambhara. And so then Mayavati, who's no longer Mayavati but Cupid, Rati, she had mystic powers, and with her mystic powers, she transported Pradyumna back to Dwarka. This is all in chapter 55 of Canto 10. Very exciting, very adventuresome, better than Harry Potter, like anything. And zoom, they ended up in Dwarka. And when the queens of the palace saw Pradyumna, he so much resembled Krishna, they thought it was Krishna. So they scattered because they were shy. But then in course of time, they started to detect differences, slight differences between Pradyumna's features, who looks just like Krishna, and Krishna. So then, once they understood that distinction, they became very attracted. Their shyness went away, and they were behaving in a very different way in relation to Pradyumna. Rukmini, seeing her son, didn't know right away that that was her son, but she started feeling maternal affection towards this young fellow that just showed up in Dwarka. And then ecstatic symptoms, etc., began to manifest. And so she realized Pradyumna's identity in that way. And then the wife of Pradyumna, because he grew up very quickly, we could say prematurely or more maturely than other children would mature, and she accepted him as her son. Pretty amazing. Now, there's some detail which I'd like to go into a little bit. And It's taken from Prabhupada's chapter summary of Canto 10, Chapter 55. This is some detail about Cupid or Pradyumna as combination of Vishnu Tattva and Jiva Tattva, because Cupid is a Jiva. I'm just going to read. This is directly from the chapter summary, chapter 55. Canto 10. So this is not Prabhupada's, this is Prabhupada's followers. In his English rendering of Srimad Bhagavatam 1:14-30, purport, Srila Prabhupada confirms the absolute status of Pradyumna, Lord Krishna's first son, basically saying that he's in this Vishnu Tattva category along with Aniruddha and Sankarshan. Therefore, each and every one of them can be addressed as the personality of Godhead. So clearly he's the personality of Godhead. And according to Srila H.H.Romapada Swami, Pradyumna took birth from the womb of Rukmini before Krishna's marriage to wife number 2. Wife number 2 of the 8 principal queens was Jambavati, the daughter of Jambavan. So Krishna married Jambavati. Second, before he married Jambavati, Pradyumna was born and kidnapped. Subsequently, Pradyumna returned from Shambhara's palace, but before Shukadeva Goswami tells of Krishna's pastimes with his other wives, he's going to elaborate before he tells the whole Jambavati story. He is going to narrate more about Pradyumna. That's this chapter. Srila Sridhar Swami further notes that Kamadev or Cupid, now appearing within Pradyumna, is a portion, or angsa, a portion of Vasudeva. So Vasudeva is Krishna. So there's a plenary expansion or svangsa, and there's a vibhinangsa, a very tiny expansion of Vasudeva. And that's Cupid's in that category, a jiva. Because he is manifest from the element chitta, consciousness, which is presided over by Vasudeva. So Vasudeva, we know from the Janmashtami, before Krishna appeared from the womb of Devaki, or within the womb of Devaki, he appeared first within the mind of his father, Vasudeva, because Vasudeva was pure. The mind of Vasudeva was a fit place for Krishna. Vasudeva took shelter in the pure mind of Vasudeva. Vasudeva, we're hearing, means consciousness, chitta. Say it again. Pradyumna is a portion of Vasudeva because he is manifest from the element chitta or consciousness, which is presided over by Vasudeva. And also because he or Cupid is the cause of material generation. Material generation means producing offspring, material generation, procreation. As the Lord states in Bhagavad Gita 10:28, so opulences of the Absolute, of progenitors I am Karpa, Kandarpa, or Cupid. So of progenitors I am Cupid. So that's a vibhinangsa, or a partial opulence from Krishna. So Krishna, let's do it again. Krishna has an expansion, an expansion of Vasudeva's chitta, which Pradyumna represents. And he, Krishna, also has a material opulence manifested in a jiva named Kandarpa as the opulence of propagation or progenitor or procreation. So that's who Pradyumna is. And he's a great fighter because he's Bhagavan, who can defeat the fighting power of Bhagavan. So as we continue with this chapter, it's a battle that we know ahead of time who's going to win. It's just how is it going to play out? Shalva, the storyline, Shalva's in a get-back mood. His buddy, Shishupal, was killed. He wants to get back at the person who killed him. Krishna killed him. They're cousins. Krishna and Shishupal were cousins. But he killed. I want to get back. Severe austerities. He got a benediction from Lord Shiva to have what he wanted. What he wanted was this Saubha, this airship that could fly here and there instantly and have great powers and couldn't be defeated and so forth by this, that, and the other thing. So nothing material is infallible. Everything material is fallible. Krishna knows the pressure points to break it. So here he goes. He's got this benediction from Lord Shiva. In his first place, he goes to Dwarka and starts to attack Dwarka. And the citizens of Dwarka are harassed. So they turn to Krishna. Pradyumna, let me go. And Pradyumna goes. And this battle starts. So it's all of this is to understand who is Pradyumna and the defeat of Shalva. Because a step back further. When Krishna appeared, there were three main reasons stated in Bhagavad Gita. Pritranaya sadhanam vinachaya chaduskatam dharma samsthapanartaya. So this is in number 2. Vinashaya chaduskatam. And Shalva is one of the duskritis. So the elimination of Shalva was given to Pradyumna, but in essence it's Krishna, because Pradyumna is Krishna's expansion. So Krishna destroyed Pradyumna through the medium of Pradyumna destroying Shalva. And it's all part of the plan to destroy the demons. Too many, very, very powerful demons. Poor people during the end of Dwapara Yuga, a lot of powerful demons just making havoc. Now there's smaller demons and they make havoc. Bigger demons in previous age. So during Krishna's time, Krishna destroyed, and during the Kali Yuga time, the Bhagavatam and the holy name destroyed. They don't destroy people, they destroy, at least in principle, demoniac mentality, and therefore we're warriors or soldiers meant to propagate Krishna's purpose in this age of Kali, to destroy not the demons but demoniac mentality through the method of bhakti. And we're meant to enjoy and participate in loving service, and simultaneously we're meant to propagate Sankirtan and book distribution and prasadam distribution and inviting people to come to our temples and see the deity form and associate with devotees and overcome the Kali Yuga influences. And it's a little bumpy sometimes because Kali Yuga influences are pretty strong, but stronger than strong, just like Pradyumna is stronger than Shalva. He's victorious for sure. A little challenging in the course of combat, but victorious. Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. So let's see if there's some discussion.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my obeisances. Maharaj, we talked about some of these demons, and in previously there were big demons. Now,
Previously there was what?
Big demons having bigger impact.
Bigger demons than today's demons.
Yes, like
Yes, definitely.
And that's like their business to cause havoc, like disturbance. That's their kind of duty. Their function. And I was thinking that now in Kali Yuga, same person has divine qualities. Same person.
In the same way as what?
In Kali Yuga, one person has divine qualities and also demoniac qualities. Same
within the same person.
Within the same person. So I was thinking that everybody has mind, intelligence, ego, but its mind is mechanical. So
Mind is what?
mechanical, like it
Mechanical.
has like
What do you mean by the mind is mechanical?
like we have a gross machine, like and mind is a subtle machine.
The mind is struggling?
Mind is a subtle
Subtle.
machine. Machine.
Okay, subtle machine.
So when one person is causing disturbance, causing negative influence, those demoniac qualities are being shown. So the thoughts in the mind, where are those negative thoughts coming from? Is the mind generating the negative thoughts, or there are subtle demoniac beings that are causing those thoughts to come in someone's
It's not the latter. We're not robots. There's the modes of nature, there's guna, and there's karma, and the combination of guna and karma within the machine-like material mind is responding to guna and karma. Now, your question, if I understood it correctly, you want to know, are there persons like demons pulling the strings, like we're puppets, and the demoniac thoughts are from the puppeteer influencing our demoniac thoughts like that? Is that what you're asking? It's my understanding is no. That are we subject to bad association? Yes, but the bad association is an instrument of guna and karma. So it's guna and karma combining to influence chitta or consciousness this way or that way. Sometimes people think somebody cast a spell. There's a demon that cast a spell, and so I'm having trouble because a demoniac spell was cast on me. Now, that may be some persons know black magic and they do black magic. But behind the black magic and the black magician, there's guna and karma. There's something controlling the bad association person. Supposing it isn't black magic, supposing it's just plain old bad association, a corrupt person wiggles their way into this association of devotees, and it turns out they're bad association. They're just a wolf in sheep's clothing. But it's guna and karma, because those who are in proper consciousness, they're not influenced. It's just water off a duck's back. It doesn't influence. Supposing somebody's not so strong, supposing somebody's weak. Back to your question. Can bad association cause bad behavior and bad thoughts and bad actions? Yes. But what's behind that? Guna and karma. So there's an intermediate cause and a remote cause. And then there's the cause of all causes, Krishna's sanctioning. And if we can make that Krishna connection, to the degree that we make the Krishna connection strong, now go down a little bit and supposing Krishna connection is not strong. Can we be influenced? Yes. But there's a free will choice at every moment. We can say no. And basically, that's like Sankirtan. When we go on Sankirtan, we should be aware. We're in a toxic atmosphere. Bad association abundant everywhere. Everywhere. Different modes, different influences, different behaviors, different. But if the purpose of our going on Sankirtan, Harinam or book distribution or whatever, if our purpose is the transcendental purpose, we're here for the mission. As instruments of Lord Chaitanya's mission, we're protected.
I mentioned one query. I have I have seen that sometimes I think mind gets influenced like that. Like sometimes some people's mind are sensitive, so if one person is thinking about the other person,
Yeah.
the other person knows it, like, or if one person is looking at other person, sometimes we can feel somebody gazing at us, we so I I think sometimes mind gets influenced like that.
Yeah. But but what's we can Sangat Sanjayate Kama from Bhagavad Gita. According to Sangha, good or bad or mixed, we take on qualities like good or bad or mixed. Tendency. So if you want confirmation or what Krishna says about that in Bhagavad Gita, is it true? It's true. We can be influenced. We are influenced. And therefore, we're advised, choose your association wisely. And if you come into a circumstance, or if you find yourself in a circumstance where the association is less than sadhu-like, it's not like run the other way, but remember who you are and remember, your mission in life. And then you're not impacted. Is it possible to be not impacted, even in bad association? Yes. Is it possible to be impacted in bad association? Yes. So what's the variable? Your consciousness. And it's not just the mind, it's consciousness. It's the soul's orientation, free will choices. behind, the association is, why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I in the material world being tossed around? There's an option. There's shelter where we need not be influenced by bad association, because the door is open for good association and the door for bad association is locked. It's not just closed. So we give our association, don't take the bad association. That's the principle, a bhakti principle, a Sankirtan principle, a Kali Yuga principle. But to give the proper kind of association, it has to be, the good association and sadhana, bhajana kriya, sadhu sangha, etc. Protection. Next.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I was thinking that second quadruple expansion, like Aniruddha and Pradyumna, Sankarsana, and Vasudeva, and these personalities, whether they are same, that Pradyumna in the second quadruple, whether he is the same personality in Krishna Lila like the son of Rukmini, because that personalities, they like Pradyumna represent intelligence. So, or that I was confused. And also I came across yesterday that in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is mentioned that Prabhupada mentioned in purport that in Ilabhrita, the Lakshmis, they worship Pradyumna. That's what he told that the expansion of Vishnu, that is Vishnu Tattva, and whose color is gold and blue, golden and blue. So, what is make confused? So, their personality, in second quadruple expansion, whether is same personality in Krishna Lila, in the pastimes of Krishna, and the son of Rukmini, whether they are same.
Maybe 10% of what you said. Whenever you said the word pradumna, I got it. And the rest is I didn't get. Could you come right up here? If you understood what he said, you say what he said. Say it loud enough so others can also hear. The second, ah, okay, of Vaikuntha. Oh, that's your question. Is that your question? Okay, thank you. The expansion of the expansion, are they the same? That's your question. The Vaikuntha expansion and the Goloka expansion, are they the same? Is the expansion of the expansion the same? The mood is different, but the expansion is the same. So there's differences and sameness. The mood is different. Greater emphasis on Aishvarya, lesser influence on Madhurya in Vaikuntha. But the same tattva, yes. Moods, different. Same and different. Same tattva, different mood. Nice catch. Anyone else? Okay. A compliment. You learned how to use that machine.
Whatever I need to do, I learn.
Nice going.
Um, you were making a distinction, H.H.Romapada Swami, between the divine weapons of Pradyumna and the mystical weapons of Shalva, King Shalva. So I was thinking a little bit, um, the weapons that were being used by Pradyumna were very precise.
He was what?
The weapon, the arrows were very
Oh,
precise.
okay.
And the weapons being used by King Shalva, it was kind of very generalized, dropping down on the
Yeah,
city.
yeah, yeah.
So that kind of precision is part of the divine nature.
Yes, yes. In other words, I mean, what I've understood you're asking is, although there's material elements, gold and iron, there's still divine astras because they're imbued with divine Shakti. Because the person firing them, we heard from the verse itself, he has transcendental Shakti. So he can use this or use that, and it has divine Shakti. Although the elements are identified as gold and iron. Now, he can have other weapons, like mantra weapon, that's not material, or it's at least it's subtle, not gross. So he's playing. I mean, it's Bhagavan. He's just having a good time, and his good time is assisting Vasudeva Krishna in getting rid of demons, because that's what Krishna's business. One of Krishna's businesses. Eliminating demons. So he's getting the opportunity to do that. Vasudeva, and it's mentioned. There are some persons, it's Ugrasena, Vasudeva, and one other person. Oh, Vasudeva stayed inside to protect. He's outside doing the fighting. So, some service. Using apparently material, I mean, chariots and this and that and the other thing, but using instruments to do Krishna's service of eliminating the demons. Because it's not, the demon, the chief demon is uh, the one with the ship, but then he's got commander in chief and he's got this and that, chariot drivers. So they're assisting him in his demon business. So they get to mercy. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.